Episode 219, Mindsets and Situations.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And it is Thursday, finally one day towards, before the end of the week, actually. Welcome to the very best podcast in the world. Your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through wealth, health, and happiness. There we go. And yeah, live from the construction site, so to speak. So expect noises of hammering and people bursting in and whatever not. Which is the reason that we're going to be short and sweet today. I'm going to keep you from having to listen to the housekeeping stuff that we do normally. If you're interested, listen to the other 218 plus episodes if you're interested in the housekeeping thing. And there we go. So today is just briefly going to be about mindsets and situations. So how your mindset may influence positively or negatively your perception of a situation and how you actually deal with it. So in all briefness, I came across this meme that was online with a picture of Jack Ma and in a very Asian slang saying, different things about how different types of mindsets deal with a situation and interpret a situation. So without further ado, let's get started before anyone bursts in or any dogs bark or any other animals or critters or whatever disturb this brief moment of silence that we have with each other. So the mindset, what we're going to be speaking with today is about the weak mindset, a balanced mindset, and a strong mindset. So the weak mindset will interpret every situation you're confronted with as a problem, right? So you can, there's this famous saying that women have a problem for every solution, right? And this isn't gender specific. There are those type of people who are confronted with almost anything and first of all see the negative aspect of it instead of actually going ahead and, trying to find a solution for the situation, right? For the challenge that was brought upon them. And that's, something not desirable because you're not going to get anywhere, right? You're going to pump yourself with negativity. You're going to move down this downward spiral. And this will inevitably lead to the fact that you're going to interpret everything you're confronted with in life as a problem instead of finding a solution for it, right? And you can see probably by now why this is detrimental, right? You're going to go down this spiral. It's going to become a habit that you see situations as problems, and therefore you're never going to find a solution for it. When your mind is balanced, right, between positive and negative, right? When your mind is at that state where you actually are able to interpret any situation as a challenge. We've been discussing that before. Every situation you're confronted with is going to get much easier to handle, right? Because you immediately try to find a solution for the thing that you're challenged, you're confronted with the situation you're confronted with, rather. And that's a very desirable state to be in, just from a perspective of balance. Now, if your mind happens to be insanely strong, right, you're going to be able to neglect as such the challenge you're going to be confronted with. And you're going to be able to turn that situation into an opportunity. Now, I know I'm very cryptic, all right? But I couldn't come up with one single situation where I could give you an example of all three mindsets, right? The weak mind, the balanced mind, and the strong mind. So that's for you, in essence, as a homework to figure out. And my apologies for being so brief today, but that's, I'm trying to shove this episode in to the day that is just, full of chaos, but in a very, very, very positive way. And actually, speaking of construction site, I just found the situation that I was confronted with, right? We had a door in the house that wasn't really performing as it should. So it was just, trying to figure out. So we had a guy here that was supposed to make us an offer, and he prepared us for shitloads of money that we were supposed to pay for a, specially designed door. Now, the fact of the matter is, we kind of took the situation as it is, right? And we dealt with the door accordingly. And then, unfortunately, it did finally die. It was just impossible. It was like real hillbilly style closing the door by leaning a chair against it, right? And this was an outside door. So I ended up looking in a Craigslist equivalent for a door, found one that had exactly the measurements that we needed, got the door yesterday morning, and now we are in the final stages of actually putting it in. However, had I seen the problem, I would have only procrastinated it away and wouldn't have been able to get an opportunity out of it. The opportunity being that I ended up paying 1/10 of what the specialist door guy was going to charge us for the door, plus minus, let's make it, whatever. But it was actually about 10% of what he was willing to charge us. And we have a new door, and it's going to be built in soon, probably by the end of the day. Let's hope, fingers crossed, inshallah, whatever you want to call it. And, anyone else would have probably been devastated by the situation, but it's how how we reacted to it. Found the door, called the guy, got the door, had it set in, and, boom, we have a new door that's actually looks pretty fucking great. So, that being said, there's a way to look at it. And if you manage to at least get out of this weak mind where you just interpret everything as a problem, but rather force yourself through awareness to then actually be able to say, well, it's not a problem. We have to find a solution to it. Because if I see a problem, I'm not going to be able to find a solution for it. So, that being said, and before anyone bursts in and destroys the audio, peace out. We're going to be in touch tomorrow for the exercise, which is going to be enforcing happiness. So something insanely interesting and rather fits to what we were discussing today. Have a nice rest of your Thursday. If you already had your Thursday, have a good night. Leave your hands above the blanket. Ciao. See you tomorrow. Bye, folks.